Hey everyone, Dockwell here, and welcome to another one of my Dota 2 hero guides. Today we're going to be taking a look at Sniper. Sniper is one of the best heroes for beginners because he can deal a lot of damage without doing much but just farming and getting a lot of items. He has two abilities that are essentially passive and just help him do a lot of damage. He also has a very good attack animation, so it's easy to get last hits for new players in the laning stage. Now, one of his weaknesses is that he's a glass cannon. He's a very squishy hero, so any heroes in the enemy team that can jump Sniper and kill him can ruin his game. It can make him run away in most of the fight instead of standing there clicking people, which is actually a benefit for new players as well because it can teach you positioning, proper positioning in the game when you're farming, in the laning stage when you're just starting out, or even late game when you have to be in team fights. When should you show? Where should you be so that you don't die and you can deal the maximum amount of damage? So you just farm up and you just click people. That's pretty much the gist of the hero. Now we'll obviously get into more depth as we go here, but that's the general concept of the hero. And he can be very good in the right hands, but higher level players usually know how to deal with him because they can jump him and kill him. But like I said, very good for learning Dota initially. Now that we know what Sniper does, we can take a look at his abilities. First, we're going to take a look at Shrapnel. That's his Q ability. What Shrapnel does is you click it on the ground, and in an AoE, it does damage to creeps and heroes, and it slows. So as we can see, as these creeps come in here, they are slowed. Now, the thing to keep in mind with this ability is that there's 3 charges here. So I have free spells on, but if I turn that off, I can put one there, put one there, put one there, and now I have 0 charges, and it takes a while for them to come back. So what you really need to do is you need to think about when you're using Shrapnel, how you're using Shrapnel, because Shrapnel can be the difference between dying or not getting a kill, especially in the early game. Because, you put a Shrapnel down, the enemy usually doesn't want to walk through it, because obviously they're taking damage, they're slowed. So if you're running away, you can put a Shrapnel down. If you're chasing someone, you can put a Shrapnel down, and it's very good for that. The other thing it's very good for is farming, as you can obviously tell, is if you put Shrapnel down on these creeps, it'll start killing them. You can clear waves and creep camps extremely quickly. But what you need to keep in mind is that, as these creeps spawn here, I'll show you, Shrapnels do not stack. So these creeps are taking the same amount of damage with all 3 as they would with 1 Shrapnel. So essentially what you want to do with this ability is you want to spread it out. You want to make sure that the amount of space that you're overlapping is as minimal as possible. So you see there's some overlap here, and that's going to happen. It's not horrible for that to happen, but you really don't want to place them on top of each other. So, someone's running away, they're right here, they're running this way. Well, you put one there, then you put another one right behind it. Don't really want to put them on top of each other. And that, honestly, is his highest skill cap ability. It's really the only one that you have to think about, because as we'll see, the next ones are pretty simple. Headshot, honestly, it just does damage. It has a percentage chance to activate, and it does a tiny little movement slow. It kind of interrupts the hero. You can kind of tell when you're clicking a hero, and it's very annoying. But the other thing it does is just does damage, so it just allows Sniper to do more damage. That's pretty much the whole point of this ability. That's pretty good. It's what makes Sniper able to dish out a little more damage. Now, we'll move on to the next ability, Take Aim. This ability pretty much just increases his range. So, if you don't really know much about Dota, you might think, oh, what's a good range? Well, here's the tower. As we're clicking it, we see here's the tower's range to attack. And Sniper is able to hit the tower outside of the tower's range of attack for it to even, like the tower, I'm clicking it, it can't even hit me. Now that's very rare in Dota. Obviously there's a lot of melee heroes that can't come anywhere close to that. But even for ranged heroes, that's not something that you can usually say for most ranged heroes. So that's a very good thing for Sniper. It's one of his strengths, not just for towers, but also for heroes and team fights. You can kind of stay back and do a good amount of damage where they're not able to really get on top of you or catch you. So that's what Take Aim does. Now I will briefly say you can activate it and it gives you True Strike and increased headshot chance as well as slowing you down. I would not pay attention to that for now, as they may change it. They just changed it again, so as we see I'm walking, I'm slowed down when I activate it. It'll just make you do a little more damage. You can pierce through evasion, but if you're new, I wouldn't worry too much about that. Just know that it gives you increased range, and maybe you can activate it for a little more damage, but it kind of puts you at risk. Now, the last ability that Sniper has is Assassinate. Usually, in Dota 2, the hero's ultimate, or the last ability here that we call the ultimate, is the one that makes the hero, or defines the hero. It kind of sets the hero apart. That's not necessarily the case for every hero, and Sniper's one of those heroes. Really, all that Assassinate does is it tops off Sniper's damage. So, as we see here, I'm clicking this guy from pretty far away. Well, then I can just use Assassinate on him. After a few seconds, it'll shoot a giant bullet that does extra damage and does a mini stun. So really, how you use this ability is, okay, well, let's see. I can click him from this far away, but I can actually use Assassinate from much further. See how far that is? That's pretty far. So what you want to do, essentially, is, you're clicking this guy. Let's say he's running away from you. Oh, I can't click him anymore. I don't want to follow him because it's going to be dangerous. Well, I still have vision. I can do that. And it tracks them, and then does a lot of damage. So here, we can get an enemy real quick, and I can just show you this. We'll spawn Axe. So Axe is running away. I'm clicking him. Well, there you go. And there you go. So that's pretty much all you need to know about Sniper's abilities. Now that we know what Sniper does, we're going to be taking a look at a replay where Emo, one of the best players in the world, currently playing for IG, plays Sniper mid. So it's very rare, because of Sniper's weakness, as I mentioned earlier, that pro players will play him. He doesn't see a lot of play in professional games, but this is one rare replay, one pub that Emo does play Sniper, and actually does really well. So if you're paying attention, we can see that Emo does a very good job of using his shrapnel on the wave and on this Void Spirit every time they kind of get close to the creeps. This pretty much helps him secure CS, but also bully the Void Spirit. And see, he's using them strategically. He's not using them all at once, but he's kind of spacing them out to secure the CS, to make sure he's doing some damage to the Void Spirit, make it a little bit annoying for him to get the last hits, and so on. So, in a little bit here, as we see, he's getting the Void Spirit kind of low, but Spirit Breaker comes in and kills him by charging. And that is the quintessential example of Sniper's weakness. If there's a hero like Spirit Breaker, and eventually Void later in the game, that can jump on Sniper, he's very weak. Once he went into the river like that and started chasing the Void Spirit, there was pretty much nothing he could do once Spirit Breaker charged him. It was basically over from that point on. He was going to die almost guaranteed. So, when you're playing Sniper, you need to be aware and conscious of the heroes you're playing against. Do they have kill threat on you? Can you die pretty easily? What are the conditions that you're going to die? And where do you have to position your hero to make sure that you don't die? Those are all very important things to consider when you're playing Sniper. So we jumped ahead a little bit here, and we're going to see a team fight from Sniper. And we're going to see some good things, but we're also going to see some bad things. So he's in his jungle. He sees that his team is fighting, and there's one kill going each way. It's actually pretty good for his team. In the beginning, they kill off Void Spirit the mid. As you see, he kind of sits back here. He's playing behind the two heroes that are on his team that are left, that are alive. He's being very, very careful, because he knows that if he gets too close, he's going to die. So he's trying to play as safe as possible. Now, he's pretty confident, and he goes up to click the tower, but as you see, the Spirit Breaker charges him, or his friend, and he kind of gets caught out of position here. And now all of the heroes jump on top of him, rush right towards him, and kill him. So that's how you can see that Sniper is an extremely fragile hero. You really need to be careful of the positioning with him, because, you might think you're safe for 1 second, you walk up a little bit too far, and then all of a sudden you're dead. So we skipped ahead a little bit here, and we're going to be taking a look at a position where Sniper's team's in the lead, and he's sieging a tower. But as you see, he's clicking it from pretty far away. He's fairly safe, but his team is generally positioning himself so that the enemy team won't go on Sniper. And we'll see in a second that they come back to defend the tower and what exactly happens in this team fight. So he's just kind of clicking the creeps here. He's doing more damage to the tower. We'll see Void Spirit comes in and immediately tries to go on Sniper. Sniper immediately backs off. As soon as he sees that he's going for him, he backs off to a safe spot in the trees and starts clicking away, starts using his abilities. But as you'll see, the Void Spirit jumps right on top of Sniper, and the Brew actually sends 2 Brewlings at the Sniper as well, because they pretty much know that if they do not deal with a Sniper, he will kill the entire team. So he's still clicking away. In that time, they manage to kill the Jug, and he's still clicking. They do get him, and he dies, and his bounty dies, but they generally win the fight because they had to spend so much time dealing with him, and even though, you know, he did die in the end, he positioned himself in such a way that allowed his team to win the fight generally. It still was a trade. Obviously, it's not great that he died, but it's, especially at a very high level, going to be almost impossible not to die on Sniper. So just know that in a lower bracket, the enemy team won't be as good at jumping on Sniper as, you know, these pro or top-rated players are here. So here we're going to take a look at pretty much what the game-ending fight looks like, pretty much as the end of the game. So, as you see, Sniper sitting in the back lines. He's just kind of chunking away at people. Gets pushed back, kind of runs back a little bit because the Brew tries to go on him. And actually, the Juggernaut goes right in and ults him. He actually has cheese, thankfully for him, so it allows him to survive a little bit, but the Jug attacked him, the Brew all into him, and the Spear Breaker charged him as well. What you see is a few buybacks from each team, actually, and then you see his team coming in, and eventually, you know, they kill the Jug, they kill the Void, they kill the Doom who has buyback, and now they actually kill the Brew. And eventually you'll see, you know, with this Ember chasing him down with the Windrunner, that we can kind of skip ahead here. Oh, there we go. We didn't even need to skip ahead, that they actually killed the Spearbreaker as well. So even though Sniper died, as you can see, the enemy team committed so much to try to fight him, to try to get him down, that it allowed his team to pretty much wipe the floor with him. Now, if we fast forward here, we'll see that the team just wins the game off this, and Sniper's not even alive. But that's what you have to do with Sniper. You have to be extremely careful. You have to, if you're going to die, you have to make the enemy team commit so much to kill you that your team just wins the game for you. That's pretty much how you play Sniper. Now, that won't happen a lot. They won't all in, and your team will win because of that, because the enemy team will probably just honestly die to you quickly. And there we go. That's how you play Sniper. And that, my friends, is my Sniper guide. Hopefully you learned how to play Sniper here and it helps you out. And hopefully if you're new, you start to play Sniper and learn some Dota. If you like this video, please subscribe, comment, share this, leave a like, comment, you know, whatever it is, all the metrics. Do that for me. It really helps. I'm hoping to be able to have the time and the ability to do all heroes, so hopefully this helps you out. If you have any suggestions, just let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to hear them. If you have a suggestion for a video other than a hero guide, just let me know, and I'd be happy to do it. Thanks, and see you next time.